Wanted to talk to you guys today about a couple of things. And I may have to pause a few times during this because this subject drives a lot of emotion in me, and it's important to me to get it out properly because it's important that I think you understand why we as human beings find ourselves so often suffering and pain. I've listened to a lot of Jordan Peterson, and if you haven't listened to the man's ideologies, you should. He uh, he has a very matter of fact approach to the way he views life in the world, and it makes a lot of sense to me, and I think it will to you if you enjoy the things I talk about. Um, why do we suffer? Why do we, throughout our lives, why do we continue to find ourselves in positions where we are hurting? And why do we have a tendency to linger in positions and in places that hurt us? I think I can describe it best this way. If you won the lottery tomorrow and you went to a friend of yours and said, I won the lottery, chances are that friend is going to want some evidence of your winnings. Let me see the ticket. You got a picture of the ticket? I want to see. Or show me the money when you cash out, or whatever. Just prove it to me. You had a really good thing happen to you? I don't believe you. Prove it. I need some evidence. Now, take that to the opposite extreme. Say your grandmother passed away, and you went to your friend, same friend, and said, "My grandmother passed away." That friend is not going to want evidence. That friend will believe you. That friend will believe you, will console you, will give you the "if you need anything, let me know" lines, and will never demand proof. And why is that? Basically, we don't like it when people do better than us. We always want to feel like we're not the worst. We always want to feel like we're not in last place. And when we have friends, people that we know and people that we care about, start to excel or start to experience something that is something we find, or something that instills envy within us, we will, whether it be subconsciously or otherwise, we will do what we can to discredit. We will do what we can to reinforce the narrative in our own heads that that's not true. There's no way that he won the lottery because now all his problems are solved. What about my problems? And it becomes a selfish thing. That being said, we also strive to return to places that hurt us until such time as we understand why those places hurt us and learn those lessons. Um, Relationships, money, career, obligations, responsibilities, all of those things are things that we have to generate and then force energy into in order to accomplish. You don't have to do that in order to hurt. Hurting is free. Pain is not a bill. It is something that will be yours regardless of economic stature or relationship status. Pain and suffering are easy. And it's in that place that we learn all our lessons. We cannot train ourselves to be happy and be in, a positive state of growth. We have to be hurting and we have to be introspective and asking why. Why am I hurting? Why is this happening to me? Why am I alone? Why am I with a person I don't love? Why am I any of those infinite number of things as to why you suffer? But there will always be the suffering. We need it. We require it. I don't know. I've always had a problem facing the reality of things. I've always had this imagination that is so vivid that I would subscribe to that which was in my head before I would subscribe to the facts that were in front of my face. And that brought me needless suffering. I didn't learn anything through that suffering. All I did was victimize. I was a victim. The universe was out to get me. And that shit was never true. My choices drove those moments. But as I've grown, especially over the last decade, I think that I've done a pretty decent job of curtailing a lot of that behavior, but I still find myself suffering a lot. So do you. Whether or not you talk to anybody about it or not, whether you feel that it's rational or not, you suffer too. And I just hope that at some point in this life, the suffering subsides because you know enough, and that you're able to just enjoy something. I can't remember the last time I was able to, without conscience, just be happy. And maybe we're not supposed to be. Maybe we're not supposed to be blissfully happy, because it's in those places that you are more likely to fuck up. Whenever you are a little bit damaged, you are a lot more apt to be aware of your surroundings and to pay attention to the people you interact with, and to try and guard yourself against that shit happening to you. And I guess there's no real point to this. I mean, it's definitely not me having any advice on how to not suffer. If anything, it's me saying to continue suffering. If you're in hell, just keep going. I think we all experience things in personally unique ways that nobody else can extrapolate unless you tell them. And I think that because of that, we live a life that is, even when we're not alone, inherently lonely, because we are alone in our minds. And I think that we end up dwelling, overthinking, whatever you want to call it, that which we wish we had, those things which we think we need, and those things which we believe would enhance our lives. And then we subscribe to the thought instead of subscribing to the work of reality of making something happen. It's a lot easier to suffer than it is not to suffer. And hopefully, as I continue to walk this journey, I will learn more ways to curtail the suffering, needless suffering, the suffering that's not teaching me anything, me holding myself hostage to an idea. That suffering has to stop, because it's going to rob me of opportunities, and it'll rob you of opportunities as well. Maybe in the future I'll talk about overthinking. I wrote a thing about that earlier this year, the 5 steps to quit overthinking, but I think I had some good stuff in there as far as challenging your thought processes actively and in real time, and then discarding that which doesn't serve you or doesn't make you grow. That's all I got for today, guys. It's a heavy day. I'm I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm struggling a little bit with several things, and it's always this way when you're on the precipice of life changes, and I am. I can tell you more about that later as well, but for the few of you that are actually watching these, I do appreciate that. I can't thank you enough because it makes me think that this isn't a waste of time, and I hope it's not. I hope that there is some future to this, because I do. It's not that I have a lot to say. I've just spent a lot of years thinking about things and trying to wrap definitions around things that make me understand more about what's going on around me. But I'll try to do one, maybe two more videos before the new year, and then in January, I think I'm gonna start trying I'm gonna be more diligent about a set schedule for when the videos come out, so that you know when they are gonna come out, and so that you can get them as soon as I can. I'm also wanting to maybe take the audio from these and convert that into a podcast, but that's another time. Love each other, no matter what. Make sure that all your steps are taken in the mindset of love and kindness, so that when the shit hits the fan, you can say that you did everything you could to make sure you were trying to do everything you could right, basically. Your intentions are what are important. The results not as important as the intent. All right, guys. Be good. Hey, if you get a chance, if you would subscribe, like the video, and then maybe share it to Facebook or whatever. Share the page, share the video that you like, share whatever, and try and draw some of your friends into this, because I want this to become a discussion and a conversation between us, not just me telling you what I think is right. Okay. Talk to you guys later.